Okay, part 3 of 3, the last one of this little mini-series. Tomorrow will be something new, so I hope to see you then. Don't forget to do the usual YouTube stuff, stuff. Are you happy now, Overlord Algorithm's son? Are you happy? I told them to do the stuff. Don't derank me. No! A quick thank you to the T5 peeps. Bob the Dragon, Data Magnet, Cat Crab Lobster, Duck Machine, Try Again 95, Astray the Dreamer, Mesic, Budic Joel, German Chemist, Casper Arnholtz, and Chaos to Must. Thank you very much. Anyways, on to the story. Caffeine High, Bungee Jumping, written by Calamity Comet. It's called backpacking. The alien attendant wasn't listening to Eddie. He cradled his head in his hands. This was an improvement, because before he had been banging it on the desk. After another few moments, he looked up. Why, this has always happened to me. Eddie didn't even know if it was a rhetorical question or not. Her AI had informed her that this alien was the one that she was looking for. If now isn't a good time, I could come back another. The alien looked her in the eyes, for lack of a more politically correct description. He looked like a giant lizard. His tongue flicked out briefly, an emotion Eddie's AI translated as exasperation. Now's not a good time, nor would any other time be a good time. The alien went back to cradling his head. This is not a theme park. Eddie was confused. I'm sorry. My friend from Mars recommended this colony for... Eddie thought for a second. The friend had described it as space bungee jumping, but in retrospect, her friend was a bit of a ditz. Maybe this was the wrong place. The alien, however, confirmed that this was the place because he pounded his clawed hand on the desk and shouted, I've told every human here I don't know what bungee jumping is. Ah, said Eddie. But you've heard of it. This, said the alien firmly, is a military facility. The alien tapped on his desk and the wall became a screen. We run orbital drops, test insertions, military contract ops. We have the only licensed gravity inverter in this side of the galaxy. A video played on the wall. 10 burly alien soldiers in spacesuits flew straight up in an instant. A diagram displayed their trajectory as the attendant narrated. Our specialty is surface to orbital pickup in 10 minutes flat. Ellie turned pale. On second thought, I'm not interested. The alien sighed. Then you're the first reasonable human I've had the pleasure of meeting. Name's Eddie, she said as she held out her hand. After a moment, his AI translated the meaning behind the gesture, and they shook hands. My name is Grax, sir. It's a pleasure. Ellie couldn't say that she was disappointed. She had no interest in getting catapulted into space for fun. Despite her species' reputation, she'd found she'd shared the alien perspective on danger more often than not. But no matter how much that terrified her, it was nothing compared to the other problem. Her phone buzzed again. It was a mama. Ever since her backpacking had led her into more settled space, she'd been getting calls. She was sending them to voicemail and then ignoring them. She and her mom had not parted ways on speaking terms. Call her a coward, but it was easier this way. She said goodbye to Grax and went out to the reception area. She sprawled out on one of the optimistically large multi-species chairs. She needed a shower. She opened her manifest. There was one ship in orbit that was leaving soon and no longer accepted shuttles. It was headed to Mars. She blew a raspberry. Fat chance I'm going back home to that rust ball. She caught a look of her travel app and saw a message had come through on the emergency line through the human consulate. Probably spam, she thought, getting ready to banish another message about her spaceship's warranty. Ellie, it's about your father. Well, that was strange. Not like her mother to start a message that way. The lobes in her brain fought it while their finger wavered. Eddie sighed. Okay, Mom. You win. I'll stop ignoring you. Grax sat down in his chair. He kicked his legs up on the desk and mixed a strong sugarcane tonic. The bottle said it was Earth's finest. He didn't drink on the job, usually, but he had just scared away his only potential customer for the day. He chuckled to himself. Humans, bunch of crazy bastards. Thankfully, his office was now quiet and he could relax without any more. Grax! The door opened and slammed into the stopper on the wall. Grax spit out his tonic. The human girl was back. He licked an eyeball in surprise and felt the sting of sugar. What now? Was all Grax said. He'd meant to follow up with another lecture about humans not knowing what was best for them. But before he could, his AI sent him a warning. The human girl's eyes were filled with liquid, a sign of distress. Ah, crap, thought Grax, remembering the old nursery rhyme. If a human seems upset, run away and hit the deck. He grabbed a towel and the advice of his AI and was chastising him for not helping faster. Ellie, how can I help you? The human shook her head rapidly side to side. Probably not. I need a manifest for the nearest ship back to Mars. Grax pulled up the data. There's one in orbit, but it's no longer parked right for shuttles. After that, it'll be 2 weeks. The humans made a sharp, chirping noise. Eddie tried to explain, I'm a terrible daughter. The alien just put a towel around her. It's okay, Grax said, patting the human awkwardly. It's not, Eddie choked. She was being dumb. Her mom had been trying to contact her, and now Dad was in hospital, and it was serious, and she wouldn't be there when he needed her. Grax looked back towards the display wall. He looked at the gravity inverter on the tarmac outside. He licked an eyeball, and then the other. Human, the ship in orbit actually can take you. What? Annie shook her head. I thought you said... She stopped. And now she was shaking her head harder. No, Grax grinned. No. Annie was standing outside in a hastily fitted spacesuit. She had a briefcase with a change of clothes and her cat tucked in a stasis sleeve. She looked straight up. This was a terrible idea. The stevedore aboard the ship leaving orbit checked his log for the manifest. One more package was being delivered from the surface via gravity inverter. It was marked as biological, though. A common error. He opened the file to correct it and briefly read the details. He became stiff. Captain? Eddie thanked Grax. I'm in your debt. He nodded. Yes, I uploaded your contact card. I'll make sure to charge you for the tonic the next time we meet. Ellie nodded nervously. She started to ask if it would hurt, but suddenly the sky was a blur, and the pressure strangling her ribs told her that it was best to stay quiet. The aliens in the airlock couldn't believe it. The captain looked at the first mate. I have never heard of anyone doing something like this. The stevedore chimed in. It's a human. Said the whole crew in unison. The human took off a helmet. They gawked. 1 ticket to Mars, please. The human collapsed, but she was fine. More or less. End of chapter and end of story. And that, my friends, concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed.